Science is standing on the edge of its biggest revolution in centuries. And no, we're not just talking about faster computers or bigger datasets. We're talking about a future where AI isn't just a tool, it's a true creative partner in the process of discovery itself.
And look, that's not some exaggeration. We are literally witnessing time itself get compressed so dramatically that it completely changes what's possible. This isn't just about making science go faster. It's about giving us the power to ask questions we couldn't even have dreamed of answering before.
So how is it doing this? Well, the secret sauce is a fundamental shift in how AI perceives the world. We're moving way beyond AI as just a specialized calculator and into an era where it's a creative, multi-talented collaborator right there in the lab.
All right, so we're talking about a new scientific renaissance here. But this didn't just pop up out of nowhere. To really get what a big deal this is, we need to take a quick look back at the decades of breakthroughs that paved the way for this moment.
It all started way back with the birth of the concept at Dartmouth. Then it moved on to mastering complex human strategy with Deep Blue, and then, boom, the deep learning explosion with AlexNet. Every single step was critical, but the game truly changed with AlphaFold solving the protein folding problem. That was the proof that AI could tackle these massive scientific challenges. And now we've hit a whole new peak.
So what's the big deal? What really separates the AI of the past from what we're seeing today? Well, it all comes down to perception. We're not just feeding it data anymore, we're giving it senses. The huge leap, and I mean massive, is from unimodal AI to multimodal AI. Just think about it. The old AI was like a specialist with total tunnel vision. It could analyze images or it could analyze text, but it could never do both at the same time. This new multimodal AI is a holistic thinker. It can fuse all these different data streams into one single cohesive understanding. Let me give you a concrete example. Imagine a chemistry experiment. A unimodal system might see a color change in a beaker, but it's totally blind to the context. A multimodal AI, on the other hand, can connect that visual cue to the text in the lab manual, and it can even recognize that weird whining sound from the centrifuge means the whole experiment is about to fail. It sees the whole picture. But look, just seeing the world isn't enough, right? To be a real collaborator, AI has to be able to act on what it perceives. And this is where things get really interesting. This is where we start talking about something called an agentic system. This is a real game changer. We're moving from a passive tool, something you just ask questions, to an active agent that actually takes initiative. This is an AI that can search the web for research papers, write its own code for a simulation, physically control robotic lab equipment, and then, and this is crucial, it can check its own work. So what you get is this incredible closed-loop system that basically mimics a human research team. It has a perception module to see what's going on, a brain, that's the large language model, to reason and plan, and an action module to actually execute that plan in the real world. It's this continuous cycle of observe, think, and act.
Okay, so all this sounds great in theory, but what about the real world? Well, these new capabilities are already delivering some absolutely staggering results that are transforming entire fields of science.
Take materials science. An AI platform from MIT went looking for a new catalyst for fuel cells. That key tech for clean energy. And what it found was a 9.3 times improvement. That's almost a 10-fold increase in power density per dollar. It makes fuel cells way more efficient and affordable, and it does it using fewer precious metals. 80 hours. Just think about that. That's how long it took a system from Microsoft and PNNL to discover a brand new material for solid-state batteries. A process that would normally take a team of people years of trial and error was done in less than 4 days. Incredible. We all know concrete production is a huge source of CO2 emissions, right? Well, an AI model just designed a new kind of carbon-neutral concrete that could slash those emissions by up to 8%. Oh, and by the way, it's also 20 times more durable.
And look, this isn't just about isolated wins. AI is systematically cranking out new materials that are changing the game. We're talking about reducing our dependence on lithium for batteries by 70%, creating infrastructure that's way more durable and carbon neutral, and finding affordable alternatives using common stuff like zinc and magnesium.
Over in biology, the story is just as amazing. We've gone from AlphaFold, which could predict how proteins fold, to new systems like RF diffusion that can actually generate brand new ones from scratch. This is huge. It means scientists can now custom design proteins to fight diseases we used to call undruggable, creating medicines with atomic-level precision.
And then there's physics. One of the toughest challenges out there is controlling the super hot, wildly unstable plasma inside a fusion reactor.
It's like trying to hold a star in a magnetic bottle, but AI is now able to predict and manage that plasma in real time. That is a massive step towards unlocking clean, limitless energy.
So with AI becoming this powerful new collaborator, it raises a really big and honestly a vital question. What happens to the human scientist? What does their future actually look like?
Well, researchers have actually mapped this out. It's called the Levels of Laboratory Autonomy, or LOLA. It goes all the way from level 0, that's all manual work, to level 5, which is full autonomy, where the human just sets the big picture goal. And right now, today, we are stepping into a really pivotal stage, level 3. This is where scientists can just talk to their AI partners in plain English, in natural language.
Of course, this road ahead isn't perfectly smooth. There are some real hurdles. You've got a trust bottleneck. A lot of scientists are still, pretty skeptical of AI-generated ideas. There's also a data quality problem. These powerful models are hungry, and we might be running out of the high-quality human data they need. And then on the world stage, you're seeing nations start to treat these AI capabilities as a matter of national security.
But here's the ultimate takeaway. As AI starts to handle all the heavy lifting, the experiments, the simulations, the number crunching, the role of the human scientist gets elevated. It shifts from doing the work to defining the work. The focus becomes creativity, big picture strategy, and asking those truly visionary questions that are going to shape our future. The challenge isn't really about finding the answers anymore. It's about having the courage to ask the next great question.